plan or kill anybody.
Again, we're past that point, Jaden. We've talked to people that have put you there with them.
Who has put me there with them?
Miss Graber, and unfortunately she is deceased. Okay? And it's become pretty clear to us that at this point you're not being very honest with me. And I think I know why you're not being completely honest with me.
A shocking case has 16-year-old Willard Miller being questioned for the brutal murder of his beloved Spanish teacher. What starts as bravado quickly erodes as he realizes it's over for him.
Like, your story sucks. If you want to be honest, I'll sit down with you and try version 19. You just said when we were leaving.
I'm trying to protect my own past.
That's
not
wrong.
from you guys.
On the evening of November 2nd, 2021, a concerned husband in Fairfield, Iowa, went to the police station to report his wife missing. Nohema Graber, a 66-year-old Spanish teacher at Fairfield High School, had not returned from her daily walk at Chautauqua Park. More unsettling was that her van was gone. The investigation broke wide open the next day when her body was discovered concealed under a tarp, railroad ties, and a wheelbarrow in that same park. As police pieced together the timeline, eyewitnesses reported a critical detail. They had seen two teenage boys driving the teacher's missing van out of the parking lot just hours before. That description would soon lead investigators directly to one of her own students, 16-year-old Willard Miller. Seeing this, they brought him in for interrogation. What you are about to see is a case that will defy everything you think you know about teenagers and how stupidly destructive they can really be.
And so I'm just going to sit in the interview, and we got a lot of things we want to go over with you, and I'm sure you'll have some questions for us when we get done, so.
Yeah. So obviously this morning, I mean, it wasn't like TV where we're busting down your door and shit, but we did bring you down here. So we talked to your mom, kind of explained to her what's going on, why we're here.
I heard.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, she came in here. It's been a really long day, Paul.
Yeah.
So we want to talk to you about your teacher. And I'm sure you have a ton of questions for us as to why we're here. And we have a ton of questions for you.
Okay.
Part of that, though, is it's called a waiver for juvenile. Because you're 16, we brought you down here. What they consider this is, it's an interrogation. And the reason for that is because you can't just get up and leave, because obviously we're sitting here having a conversation with you. So we have to read your Miranda rights, which is just because we're here. If I had seen you walking down the road and said, hey, hop in, let's holler at you real quick, different story. But because we removed you from your house and you're coming down here, technically they're going to look at this as we're interrogating you instead of just hanging out with you at Burger King. So, I know you said what's technically your first name?
Willard.
How do you spell that?
Just Willard.
Be certain that if detectives read you your Miranda rights, you're already considered a suspect, and you should ask for a lawyer immediately. Not only that, but it's shocking that Willard is alone in the interrogation despite his mother having appeared on screen before, considering he's only 16 years old. He was known for being a lazy student at Fairfield High School. Just a week before the murder, he and his mother had met with Mrs. Graber to discuss his failing grade in her Spanish class. How could that connect him to the murder? He was read his Miranda rights first, and even before signing, in the age-old tradition of overconfident murder suspects, he started talking about how poor her teaching was.
I was really backed up in her class and kind of giving up. I mean, all that percentage aside, like, she's not the most fantastic teacher. She's very old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was drilling on me all this 4-day weekend. She was very persistent, and I got everything done. And I came to school yesterday, and she's not there. And now this is like...
Total mess.
After running through his details for formality, the detective started with small talk about school. They do this to ease the situation and build trust.
Hey, what were you getting in Spanish?
Oh, I was doing great because... So I started the year like any other with open mind, ambition. I want to get the work done. I'm not like the kids. I don't see... How do people just stay in class on their phone when... Like, they know that work's better. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it makes you like pal. And it really just over your future, honestly. So, I start with ambition and I'm working, and it's like the class, the way she teaches, it goes right over my head. The way I work, I relate things to pattern, and I review them over and over again. So I'm not bad at Spanish. Spanish 1, I got a B+, taught by Miss Ruby. She did great. She used technology. We would do Quizlets and review flashcards every day. Miss Graber's very old-fashioned. Hates technology.
Yeah.
Well, makes your life hell if she sees your phone. And she's not that great at English. So there's that. And she kind of just stands in front of the class and like talks about stuff, and then will give us worksheets. But I feel like the information has not been covered nearly enough for us to do this. Some kids like us can do it and learn better. There's this girl next to me who always seems to do fine, and she like never talks to anybody or anything. And Miss Graber also assigns a ridiculous amount of homework with words that we've never studied, but it's like filling in the blanks and stuff. So it's not over those words necessarily, but you need to understand them to get the context of the sentence.
Yeah.
And we know, and I said, how do you pass this class? What do you do? And she says, I go home, begin, translate.
Got it.
So, yeah, that's what I was doing for a bit. And then I just kept losing ambition, and she picks favorites. It was very hard to talk to her in class. She'll go, oh, and then she'll walk away. She'll literally walk away, and you can't talk to her.
Mm.
And I was looking at this test. There's no way I don't think I can answer 2 questions on it. And then she kind of was like, okay, so here's the other test. And she was like, basically, she wanted me to take both of them that day. And then I was looking at this test, and I was like, this is bullshit. I can't do this. And then I walked to the principal's office, Mr. Stone, and I talked to him. And he's been well in for almost every generation of classes go down and try to get her fired or whatever. And so I just talked to him and told him everything that happened. It was pretty hard to take him seriously because he was in a big SpongeBob outfit for Halloween. But
so this is last Friday?
This is, yeah.
So this just happened?
Yeah. And so then I talked to him about it, and he took a lot of notes. He's a very good principal. He knows how to relate to the kids. And so then that was that. And then yesterday, I went down to the office. I forget what period, but he was just checking in and asking how things going, and I explained how. So since she's not tech savvy at all, there's you familiar with Canvas, other things. So there's all the classes are up, and you click on it, and there's all the information and everything. There's not even a Spanish class. And so I have all this missing work, and I don't know where to find it. I don't have the textbook you don't take home. It's all in my textbook. So we had been emailing her to get all the assignments. She was telling us all the things that I am missing. And then we went in Tuesday and had a meeting with her just to get all the handouts and everything cleared up. That went pretty well. I showed her the work that I had done I got a tutor for Spanish. This is my friend's mom, actually. She's from Guatemala. She's great. So I did homework with her, and she was in pretty disbelief. The stuff that Miss Graber was making us study. She was like, these verbs, you'll never use them when talking.
Yeah.
So, that aside. So then, yeah, we went over the work. That day, I showed her, Miss Graber, the work that I had done. And so she graded that, and then gave me the rest of the assignments, and then I went to my mom's office with her after, and I did homework till about 4:45, something like that. I don't wear my watch anymore, so I don't know exact times. And then I went home, ate some food, and went to my room and kept doing homework.
Okay.
And then she got back after walking the dog.
Every excuse he offers and every detail he provides inevitably circles back to his central grievance. He viewed Nohema as a bad teacher. All this while the detective, with his legs crossed and attention seemingly fixed on his phone, might appear unassuming, but this is a deliberate tactic to lull the suspect into a false sense of comfort. As guilty individuals often attempt to diminish their victim's character, they subconsciously try to view them as less human or deserving of their fate, which is why it's so telling that while his teacher is missing, all Willard cares to talk about is his Spanish grade.
You talked about doing homework and staying home with the dog, and
That was Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Okay.
That was Tuesday.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw Miss Graber Tuesday at 1:15, and we left the school on 2:30.
Okay. Who were you with when you saw her?
I was with my mom. She came in.
Yeah.
Because she's very...
Yeah, well, I'm going to go a little bit backwards. I appreciate, obviously, it's good input. And part of this is, I don't know if you saw other kids. We're talking to a bunch of kids from the school trying to figure out who knows and other teachers and everything.
Since I've been struggling with Spanish and whatnot, I figured it's best just to get my head on straight. I barely have enough time to get things done as is.
I hear you.
Willard mentioned he started therapy, a detail the detectives noted before shifting their focus. They want to know his history with drugs, probing for any instability or motive. At this point in their investigation, he was already a prime suspect, a fact he was completely unaware of. So they run through his timeline again, this time cross-checking what he had said just minutes earlier.
Afterwards, you stop at the bakery, but it's closed, so you go to the lunchbox, have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do after lunch?
Oh, well, no, we didn't. So we ordered to go because I didn't feel like being out, and they said it'd be a 30-minute wait. So I think she had some errands or she was going to walk the dog or something. So I got dropped off at home, and she did what she needed to do, and then she picked up the food and came home. And we ate. And then that afternoon I did homework.
So lunchbox to go.
Yep.
You just go home.
Uh-huh.
And you do homework. Okay. Your phone, you don't have it from 4:30, 4:45 until when do you think she gets it back to you? On Tuesday night?
I don't know. Probably 8:30-ish, something like that.
Spanish first period.
I show up, the door's locked and closed, and there's a mob of my class standing outside of it. I just walk up. It's obvious it's a parasite. Miss Graber isn't there, so I got that. But everyone's just talking about it, making jokes, as teenagers, and we do that. And then I sat on the steps with some friends as we waited, because our room's right by a stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually the vice principal came over, unlocked the door.
The detectives then ask about his best friends in a bid to know if this case was gang-related. They also ask what he thinks happened, and he says what they already suspected. If you paid close attention, you might have noticed how he's the only one talking and hasn't stopped once ever since the interrogation started. More shockingly, he didn't even question why he's being interrogated in the first place.
You can get information about anybody at the school pretty quickly enough if you just ask, so you can just, it's just kind of lingering, it's floating. Mm-hmm. It's just information that you can get pretty easy.
Right.
I know that, she's native to Mexico. She could have just said, talking and what? So there's 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
I know that she has a husband. I don't know anything about their relationship.
Okay.
Involved he would be. Yeah. And her daughter, I think, lives in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I know that she has I don't know how many kids, but I know that she has more than one.
Sure.
But they've, I don't know.
Okay.
He could have gone to one of them.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing that he's still a juvenile, the detectives believed that they would be able to get answers from him without resorting to extreme measures, so they get a little more direct with their approach. So far, 40 minutes into the interrogation, Willard has nonchalantly disclosed crucial information that detectives have been silently noting without confronting him directly. However, in the minutes that follow, everything was about to change drastically.
Are you friends with a guy by the name of Jeremy?
We're acquaintances.
And by Jeremy, I'm talking about Jeremy Goodale? Yeah.
We grew up together and went to the same school.
How close are you?
It's on off, because we're both strong, confident, good at arguing. So when we get along, we really get along.
Yeah.
And when we don't, we really don't. Okay. So we kind of just get more, surfacey.
Right.
But he's good. He's cool.
Okay, cool. When was the last time you saw him?
School.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We usually sit at the same lunch table with some other people.
Oh, okay.
Pretty daily.
Okay. How are you guys yesterday? I mean, you guys on an on again or off again at this point?
Oh, I mean, we phoned. We didn't talk that much, but yeah, just...
Yeah. I know Dick was kind of focusing in on that Tuesday night when you had gone to your mom's office, and then you said you walked to your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just 5 blocks.
Yeah. During that span from when you left school with your mom until you went to bed, did you ever cross paths with Jeremy?
I don't think so.
Did you guys chat quick or?
Oh, some small talk, nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then...
What was the small talk about?
I don't remember. I don't remember conversations like that.
Okay. Very good. All right. Do you have your phone with you now? Oh, it's right there. Got it. Okay. Do you keep a lot of contacts on there?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. That particular evening, so we're not talking about last night, but the night before, Tuesday night, is there any reason why somebody might have put you out at Chautauqua?
I look like other people, and I was wearing a black hoodie, I think, that day with sweats. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
He claimed he couldn't remember his conversation with a Jeremy Goodale, a name he had carefully avoided up to that point. Unbeknownst to him, just hours earlier, his friend had been in the same shoes and was far more cooperative, giving detectives crucial information about the case.
It's like a minivan.
Okay.
It's like a Honda. It was out in the missing description. She drives down? Is her car at Chautauqua?
Well, we're trying to figure a few of those things out. You know, there's been, Chaden, I'm going to be straight up with you, okay?
Okay.
So, this investigation really got accelerated quickly for us, okay?
Okay.
Things came together pretty quickly, all right?
Oh.
And so what we discovered pretty early on when I got called, we were advised that, we have a missing person here who was kind of doing her routine and then never finished her routine of coming back home,
Okay.
right? And so, Chaden, when this type of thing happens, we bring in all the resources that we can. And, it's difficult because when it's something like this, we try to make sense of something that doesn't make much sense. Okay? And I'm not sure that what we're trying to figure out will ever quite make sense. And so, as you're probably aware, we did locate Miss Graber, and unfortunately she is deceased. Okay? And it's become pretty clear to us that at this point you're not being very honest with me. And I think I know why you're not being completely honest with me. It's because you've done some things in the last 48 hours that maybe in hindsight you wish that you didn't do. Okay? And by sitting down and talking to me.
If we go a few minutes back, when they were retrieving information from him and letting him talk, the leading detective was laid back to make himself less of a threat and make Willard feel more comfortable opening up, which worked. Now, that's long gone, and the aggressive posture demonstrates that. By this point, detectives already knew the extent of his involvement. They were simply waiting to see if he would ever choose to tell the truth himself. Even with all these facts stated very clearly to him, Willard simply doubles down on his story.
Nothing, no idea how she died. Who was I?
Okay.
I'm lost.
Okay.
I did my homework and everything because I want to.
I know. But Chaden, here's the thing is that as we're moving along very, very quickly, evidence is starting to mountain up. Okay. We're beginning to get way past the who of this, and now we're trying to venture into the why. Okay? And if this was a spontaneous thing that in hindsight you and Jeremy wish that you hadn't done, okay, and maybe things got out of hand, and once things started going, you couldn't step back, okay, I understand that. I can't say that I agree with it, Jaden, but I understand it, okay? But at this point, like I said, we're beyond the who, okay? We're beyond that point. Okay, now we're just wondering about the why. And what we haven't figured out yet is that we've got a line down a piece of paper, and we've got two theories. I can look at the black and white and make assumptions, but only you can explain to me what was going on. What if this was your idea, or Jeremy's idea, or just completely spontaneous? Only you can write that story. What I implore you to do, don't let somebody else write it for you. Because that story is already being written by some other people. That's why we want to give you the opportunity to have this conversation.
Okay. I know that something was going down that day, and it was very sketchy, and I am very good with body language, and I knew that I did not want to be involved.
Okay.
And I got out of there. Because I want to completely disassociate myself from anything that would have happened.
You wanted to at that time?
Before anything happened,
okay.
I said, I need to get out of here. If something goes down,
mm-hmm.
I don't want to be involved at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I left, and I didn't assist with anything. I had no knowledge, but something was up, and...
Because it sounds like you did have knowledge. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I know it's just, I've been in situations where...
No, this isn't body language.
Okay.
Jaden, don't shortchange it now.
I'm not shortchanging it.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that I've been in situations where I may not be involved, but I may be with the people that did it or whatever it was, and things go south very, very quickly as soon as officers show up and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I could feel that this could be very easily be one of those situations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left.
Okay, tell me about the situation that you're describing.
Saying he's good with body language at 16 years old is definitely something the detective didn't expect. His patience was running out, his voice sharpened, and he began to hammer down with more direct, rapid-fire questions.
To what extent are we talking here?
To what extent?
Okay, are we planning it, or are we just along for the ride, and you saw some things that you didn't want to see?
I didn't plan anything. I had no input in any plans. And...
Jade, looking right now, I can tell that you have a lot of regret about what happened. Okay, we can't change the past, and it's a bitter pill to swallow, but all we can do right now is just put it on the table, because right now, the case facts as they are, they're becoming more and more clear. And you said you didn't plan anything. Okay, well, version 1, version 2, let's make this the last version. The last final truthful version of this. Okay? I'm not bluffing you. I'm being 100% honest with you. Okay, like I said, we have a lot of people working on this. I can tell in your eyes that you have regrets. Okay? But lies and falsehoods and half-truths don't show a person who's remorseful about what they did.
We were walking down the path, the road.
Mm-hmm.
And there were other people.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a one-person thing. There were 5, 6, 7 maybe.
Okay.
And I'm walking down, and then we get to there's another trail that heads off,
mm-hmm.
and there's a bench. And I sat and I said, you can keep going, because I can tell you got something... Someone's going. And so I shook him off. He kept walking. And then a few minutes later, I looked down and I couldn't see who. There were multiple people around and they were moving.
Moving what?
A body.
Okay.
And I freaked out. I had a panic attack and I ran.
Okay. Who are these other people?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't see their faces. This was like,
It was Zoe.
it was around the corner. No, not that. She's pretty short. I didn't see a short person.
Okay.
It was far away.
Okay. What weapons did you see?
Under this intense pressure, Willard's story shifted dramatically. He now claimed the mysterious masked men had actually communicated with him before the murder, threatening him and forcing his cooperation. He painted himself as a terrified victim, scared for his own safety if he didn't comply with their demands to help dispose of the body.
No, I was leaning against the sign.
Okay, you're
The map sign.
the map sign. You were leaning against the map sign, and you said that about how far away were they from you as they were moving the
I
bodies?
don't know how far like close to a quarter of a mile,
Oh, that far.
probably. It's far.
Okay.
It's like
So after you saw them moving the body, what did you think? What did you do next?
I freaked out. I felt my face go.
And did you wait for Jeremy to come back, or
Hell no.
okay?
Hell no.
Did you go home, or what did you do?
Yeah, I went home. I went straight home.
You didn't reconvene with anybody there.
No, I needed out. No.
Okay. And nobody's gonna tell me otherwise, right?
If they do, they're lying. I left. No, I said that's enough for today. I don't do well with that stuff at all.
Yeah. What did people like Jeremy talk about was the plan once they located her on her routine walk?
I heard some things talking about they could do framed suicide because the train tracks are right there. I don't know what the plan was besides probably to either knock her out and move her and then finish the job.
How are they going to finish the job?
Was probably whatever they knocked her out with.
How do you know they knocked her out?
Because she was not resistant. They were just dragging. And there were
I know, but you could stab somebody and not knock her out. So how did you know they knocked her out?
Yeah, there's that. I didn't say I knew that they knocked her out. I said they could knock her out and move her.
Okay, did you hear something from this group indicating that they were planning on knocking her out?
Did I say that again?
Did you hear? Did you hear anything from anybody indicating that the plan was to actually knock her out as opposed to something else?
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? What was that plan that you heard?
All I heard was, we could knock her out and move her off. We could put her on the train tracks.
I see. So knock her out and then stage it like a suicide, like she got run over by the tracks or wanted to get run over by the tracks?
Sure.
Okay. And then you mentioned finish the job. By finish the job, are you referring to moving her onto the tracks? Or?
Because, no, I'm saying because that's a public trail. You're not going to...
You only got so much time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They probably demobilized her quickly when nobody was around.
Mm-hmm.
Got her off, and then did whatever they need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
In order to not be seen.
Right.
If his stories have been crazy, what comes next takes it to the next level.
As a part of this group since then?
Mm-hmm.
And have you discussed it?
I told them, this is...
Okay. You just mentioned you told them. So who else did you tell besides Jeremy?
No, I didn't directly tell anybody else. I said, this is implying you tell your people or whoever. This is beyond right.
And did you tell that to who? Jeremy. Okay. When did you tell him that?
Yesterday.
And how did you tell him?
I texted him.
On Snap?
Mm-hmm. I think we in a photo.
Okay. In a photo you told.
You can take a photo and then you type
in like this. what you guys did was, is that what you're saying? Okay. And if I was to take a look on there, I'd see it.
No, because Snapchat, the messages disappear after
Not all
they're
of them.
opened.
Not all
Okay.
of them. But that should be on there?
There's nothing saved.
Okay. If I was to take Jeremy's phone, may I see that? Or if I was to write a search warrant for Snapchat?
To follow her. I did.
You started to follow her.
Yes, because I said something was happening. So I let her walk a bit. I got on the trail, was walking down. Stopped. She obviously kept walking. And then I was waiting there. Saw that. I had a panic attack. You know, I was trying to look and see what's going on. And then I got down there. And then I saw, and then I left.
The detective knew every word from Willard was a lie, yet his composure up to that point had been remarkable. The police already had his wheelbarrow at the crime scene, witness statements, and digital evidence tying him to the murder.
Ability is not great based on version 1, version 2, and version 3, now version 4. Okay? We can agree on that. But what I'd like is that this version be the honest and truthful version. And are you telling me that this is the...
This is what happened.
Okay.
You don't think it would have been possible for me to rub off on Jeremy?
No.
How so?
No. Transfer DNA doesn't work like that in the elements.
Like if my hair got on him, something like that, skin.
Are you saying that are you saying that we are gonna find your DNA?
I'm saying it's something. I'm asking, is this possible? Because it's very possible that me being with Jeremy.
Okay. I'm talking about if I go like that, or if I grab your wrist like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I take a swab and I swab your wrist like that, I'm going to find your DNA and I'm going to find my DNA. Okay? If I look at the items that are around her at that scene and I swab that head to toe, and I from front to back, and I put alternate lighting on it so it pops out when there's foreign DNA, is there any chance that your DNA is going to be closer to the scene than what you just described?
They used my wheelbarrow.
They used your wheelbarrow.
That we've had for years.
And how did that happen?
Because they needed a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
And I felt cornered.
When did you provide them the wheelbarrow?
I didn't directly provide them. I said I have one at my house, by my shed. You can grab it if you want. I'm not getting it.
Okay. When was that? When they said they needed a wheelbarrow?
That was the weekend.
Okay. And who asked for it?
It was at lunch, so there was a few of them.
You mentioned the weekend.
Yeah,
that's when they got it.
When they got it.
But last week during the lunch, they said we need
Friday or Thursday.
Okay.
They were talking about it was kind of a lunch table that was just projected at me that wheelbarrow with the twins, Jeremy and I. Yeah, I don't know.
The twins and Jeremy brought up to you that they needed a wheelbarrow.
I said it's rusted out in the middle. So when we're carrying up, you can't put a lot of weight in it or brakes. That wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. Then I asked what for. They were very indirect, and it was weird. That's another reason why my spider senses. I can't, because I'm asking for a fucking wheelbarrow.
Did you, when you saw them moving the body, were they using the wheelbarrow?
No.
Okay. It was just dragging and...
It was a huddle.
Okay. Then they came and got it over the weekend?
Yeah.
Who came and got it?
I don't know.
Were you not home at the time, or?
I don't know if I was home or not. No, I just saw that it was gone.
All of a sudden it was gone. When did you notice it was gone?
That would have been Sunday.
Shockingly, the story changed once more, and just as the detective thought he had heard every possible excuse, Willard unveiled a new dismaying layer to his ever-evolving tale.
Well, I'll say this. We are very discretionary on how and when information is revealed. But as importantly, like I said, people are going to be pointing fingers at you. Okay, your wheelbarrow's there. Your gloves are there.
My gloves are there?
Well, you said.
They were in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, you said, right?
The gloves are gone.
The gloves are gone.
I don't know what.
But if they're there on scene.
I'm telling you, though, that if I were to wear gloves and be that involved and was involved with the process of moving her, I would not leave my gloves.
People make mistakes.
Sure.
But you're saying that didn't happen, right?
I was not involved. I didn't come in contact with I didn't know.
It's surprising how he can laugh during a moment like this. Not just that, but he has not shown a single ounce of remorse, guilt, or sorrow for the victim so far. Also, asking for witness protection when you're considered the main suspect is certainly a new layer of psychology I didn't expect.
And no, I mean, again, I thought you would be honest with me. Guess not. That's why I want this to be the last version.
Okay.
Okay. And it took a little bit of prodding to even get the wheelbarrow story. So what else am I not asking about that's on your mind?
After 2 hours of interrogation, the detective goes looking for something. However, Willard is left alone, and here we can see how everything is starting to take a toll on him.
Why did I? If only I stayed home.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a map. Okay.
The detective then laid out a map, and under intense pressure, Willard slipped up his story.
So, this is the corner. And I was talking about, and see, visibility is limited here because it turns in.
Yeah. So if you're standing right here, you can't really see great until you come around the corner.
This is where they were. I'm down here. This is the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
The shelter that we were at is like somewhere around here. And then I walked down along here, and then I stopped. Yeah, because this is the other trail. The map is like here.
Uh-huh.
And so they're this far away. That's why I'm saying I couldn't really see shit.
They're all the way down there.
Yeah.
So like that's 200 feet. So we're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I mean, that's, a quarter of a mile or so. But you're saying that they were all the way down there doing their thing and you were only right here. You were never up here.
I was here.
Mm-hmm.
And then to leave, I went back here. It's like, lost my shit. I went here. And then just took Burlington.
Okay.
Back home. And then I got a message on Instagram since I didn't have my phone. I was telling people even just, you can use my burner Instagram account, and to talk to me because where's the computer?
Okay.
And so when I got called out, then they were offering $35 just to help push the car.
Okay. Did you get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got home. Did you tell them beforehand that they could reach out to you on Instagram?
Well, yeah, Jeremy knew. I posted it. I sent out my story before I got.
What did you post on your story?
Just, I said, I'm going to be off Snap for a few days.
Oh, I see.
And hit me up on Instagram.
Okay.
I didn't want to go back out. And they said, we'll give you $35. And so I hurried out there real quick, did what I needed to do, and
Who paid you for $35?
one, I know I want to say, I think.
Sheriff's Office, Deputy Line, Sheriff's Office, Deputy Line.
And the key got stuck in the ignition after it had been rolled off and it wasn't coming out. And each of us were trying to get it out. And since
So you just touched
I
the key?
had, so yeah, we were trying, and then the lanyard broke. And so they just threw the lanyard.
Okay. So you were inside the vehicle?
I wasn't inside, the door was open and I was pulling.
Okay. Well, you were inside trying to get it
Sure.
out. Okay.
He had grown too comfortable with the initial, softer detective, but the moment a major crimes unit investigator stepped into the room, his entire demeanor shifted. The air of casual arrogance evaporated as he realized he was utterly screwed. Even then, his primary strategy was to desperately fabricate stories, attempting to throw his friend Jeremy and other schoolmates under the bus.
I'm thinking more about it too, and I think this is bigger than we think. Because the ringleader, he didn't involve himself physically, and I don't know, because all the people were masked up and everyone was staying anonymous. A few people
Everyone was what?
staying anonymous, and then like kind of to each other. And I am easily manipulated or convinced, or I don't like to keep people waiting, or so if they make a big enough deal, I'll do what they want. And a lot of this I was resistant about, and I was given plans. I wasn't given date, but there are text messages from Jeremy about plans, and I pretended like I was freaking out, and that was fine. So I was doing my best to just be chill because I was worried that I could easily be in Mr. Grayberg's position. So I, matched energy or whatever for the time being. Strictly freaking out. So, I think I was calling somebody with this.
You were talking about witness protection because there was a plan and you were given a plan.
I don't. Maybe.
It's really up to you. I can't force you to. Obviously, you've been read your rights. You have a right to counsel. If you want to have a conversation with us, we'll sit down and see what else you have to say.
I can.
You have to also understand, we've been working since 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday. So most of our guys are on about hour 30 or 32 of straight work. So we're kind of running out of that bubble of when we're willing to sit here and be lied to versus when we're willing to sit here and actually have a productive conversation. Because if we're going to be lied to, we can go a lot of places to get lied to, or I can go to my bed and lie down. So if you want to have a productive conversation, obviously you've been told your rights. We're not going to make any promises or guarantees to anything you have to say to us.
Okay.
But our goal is to gather the truth.
Okay.
So, if you want to initiate another conversation with us, we're all ears.
He grasped that it was every man for himself. Obviously, he chose to save himself, suddenly remembering more details in a frantic attempt to implicate others as the masterminds. He was no longer just lying, he was actively creating scapegoats.
Okay, because I also know that, so on Snapchat, you can rotate accounts. If you've logged in before, you click lock out, find information, and then, you can swipe between accounts. And I was sending messages about the plan, reacting, and giving bits of input to make it seem like I'm not something that they have to worry about, even though I'm myself. And I know that I do streaks, so the way it works, you can, after you send a message or whatever, that person's at the top. So with streaks, when people send me stuff, it quickly fills up and there's irrelevant stuff. But I know that my account was used Saturday. Something was sent between Jeremy and I didn't send it. And I know that because I didn't have my phone. So when I saw that he was up there, I knew that wasn't.
So who's the ringleader?
I don't know, because I never got any direct contact with them.
Here's the deal. You're not stupid. You know who was putting this plan together. You know the plan. You know who was there.
I can't tell you that, and I'm being dead.
But how do you know?
Because they were telling me that they were conversating and that they were getting plans. Kenny, Keaton, probably Jeremy, other
Henny,
people.
okay. Henny, Keaton, who else?
Their general group.
Who was in that group?
So they were all conversing.
Okay, who's they?
I don't know all of the names.
So you know more than two. You said their group.
Ben.
What's Ben's last name?
Sidores.
Okay, I'm with Keaton.
His story was so riddled with contradictions and obvious holes that it felt less like a lie and more like an insult to everyone's intelligence.
Or there may have been more people that weren't there, but, you know, told the people information. I don't know.
This is Fairfield, Iowa.
Yeah.
There's not some Fairfield mafia.
No, I'm not saying there's mafia. I'm saying kids at school could and
Could have.
that
So what was your
Sure.
plan? Just to follow her as she walked?
look out for people. I
So who are you communicating with, saying there's nobody else on the trail? Who are you sending those messages to?
didn't have my phone with me.
So you're supposed to walk around and follow her on the trail.
Sort of. I didn't really follow her. I stayed on the one side, and I told them I'll just run over if I see people. Because I didn't have, my mom had my phone.
So who'd you tell you run over he saw people?
What? The group.
Okay, who was in the group? So Jeremy, for sure.
Jeremy, he's tall. And he's got,
So every person in the group had a mask on, you couldn't tell who they were.
no, not every person.
So who was there that you can say for sure was there?
Caitlin.
Okay.
And I know that Jeremy, I think he was a lookout too. Because he could have been moving the body too. But I feel like I would have seen,
Do you understand how much trouble you're in right now?
No. I understand, this is pretty fun. And
You're giving me a half.
I-
Kind of like you gave Agent Kedley.
because I'm really nervous.
So you should be, because somebody died. That's murder,
That's murder.
which in the state of Iowa, first-degree murder is punishable by life in prison. Like, that's not funny, Danny.
I'm aware. I didn't do the murder. I wasn't directly in front of the body.
You just
I know.
helped. You just helped as a lookout.
I looked. I was
Yeah.
the and I was being used.
But you don't know anybody that was there, which is pretty
I do.
fucking sad for Fairfield.
I do
Because
know
you know
who was there.
everybody in this guy.
No, I do know who was there.
But you don't,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you said it's maybe Caitlin, maybe Jeremy.
No, Caitlin was there.
Okay, so
Jeremy was there. I met him first, and we walked to Chautauqua. Keaton was there,
Okay.
and one of the twins. I couldn't tell who. If not
So maybe Kenny or the twin.
the other one. Yeah.
And what other girls were there?
I don't know the other girls' names. I don't.
So how do I find Caitlin? Is she in your phone?
No, I don't have contact with her.
So how do I find her?
These are, I don't know.
So I go to Pence and look for a junior that's a blonde named Caitlin.
This was set up so that people wouldn't know who everyone was.
You know, everybody, dude, it's Fairfield.
I'm aware.
So who set it
Yeah.
up? Who said, let's go to the park at this date and time? Who told you to go?
Jeremy.
Okay, so did Jeremy set it up?
He didn't. He probably had influence in the plan, but I don't think it was his sole idea. No,
Okay, why don't you think it was his sole idea?
it doesn't seem like Jeremy, and I don't think he would care that much to kill Miss Graber. And I don't either. I was failing her class, but I'm not gonna kill a teacher because I'm failing their class, and I got my homework in. My plan. I don't need her to die to pass. I gained nothing from her death.
So Caitlin's there with two other girls. Maybe Chase is there.
If you think it's finally clear to Willard, you're wrong. Willard refused to confess, even telling authorities that he was compelled to assist the actual perpetrators in concealing her corpse and driving her vehicle.
How come surveillance video doesn't show a BMW or that truck leaving the park? I don't know. You said you saw the cars in the park, and the video shows the van and a silver truck. A nice silver truck.
They parked by the highway.
That's where they parked?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because when we were leaving, we walked down there and got in the cars. Because the road where the van
So you left when they were all leaving?
No.
You just knew when we were leaving?
Yes. When they got me to move, because they needed help moving the car.
Mm-hmm.
We went,
Dude, your story sucks. You just need to be honest. It's really that simple. Like, your story sucks. If you want to be honest, I'll sit down with you and try version 19. You just said when we were leaving.
I'm trying to protect my own. Not from you guys.
But that's the problem. You're still telling a half version of the truth, which doesn't work.
I think he has a fraud account too.
Okay.
Because there's no profile picture, and it looked like a random ass name.
How'd you know it's Jeremy then?
Because he's messaged that to me before on that account.
Okay.
And so then I ride my bike down there, get picked up at the park. They take me down, and then we push the van off. Keaton, I'm pretty sure, gave me money, Ben's or that or Miss Graber's. I get on my bike and go.
Okay. And you're in Caitlin's car.
Mm-hmm.
White BMW. From TCAM.
They didn't all these when she did. I said, okay, I need to get the plug back home.
Okay.
She said, okay, I'll get your bike.
What did they tell you when you were riding the BMW about what happened?
They didn't.
It wasn't until almost a year after the murder that detectives revealed the most probable and shocking motive. Willard Miller was so enraged when Nohema Graber gave him a bad grade in her class that he devised a plan to assassinate her. His friend, Jeremy Goodale, went along with the ride. For at least 2 weeks, they carefully plotted Graber's murder. They watched Graber to understand her routine, made a supply list, and devised a plan to attack her from behind with a baseball bat during her daily stroll in Chautauqua Park. Willard ran many online searches on his iPhone, including what happens to students' work if the teacher dies in the middle of a term? Do students receive credit for a class if the professor is seriously injured or dies more than halfway through the course? He also had a note titled Prep, with further details of the pair's plan to kill Graber.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly accept responsibility for the role that I've played in the murder of Nohema Graber. I would like to apologize for my actions, first and foremost, to the family. I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation I've caused your family. And from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry for your loss. I'm sorry to hear about Paul Graber. I would also like to apologize to the community, to just the ripple effect that my actions have had.
Certainly a high school junior who formulates a plan, or high schooler that formulates a plan with his friend, and murders a Spanish teacher is a dangerous person to the community. The definition of malice is the intention or the desire to do evil. And evil does not have a birthday. The court finds, based on the nature and circumstances of this offense, along with the required 25 factors that I am to consider in sentencing a juvenile in the state of Iowa for murder in the first degree, that the defendant, Willard Noble Chaden Miller, should be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 35 years.
Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale both entered guilty pleas to first-degree murder in the spring of 2023. Later that year, Willard was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years. He promptly challenged this decision. His friend, Jeremy, was also sentenced to life in prison, but with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Iowa law prohibits minors from being sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and both of them were 17 years old at the time of sentencing, which worked in their favor, but justice was served. If you enjoyed our production, make sure you subscribe and check out our other videos.